The story of Chrono Life's best virtual reality game revolves around a beginner player who is constantly rejected by other players, despite spending money on equipment. This new player has a tough time making friends in the game and decides to vent his frustrations out loud, catching the attention of a cute pink-haired player who shyly asks him to party up and do in-game farming. Excited at the prospect of finally having a companion, the new player boasts about his latest purchase of the 55,001 beginner package, which included a +3 Knights two-handed sword. As the duo sets off to the forest to complete their quest, the new player imagines a future with his new companion, where they'll kiss, become a couple, get married and have a daughter. However, his dreams come crashing down when the cute player reveals herself to be a backstabber, luring him to the center of the forest with the intention of killing him. Shocked and confused, the new player is stabbed in the chest and loses all his health points. The cute player verbally abuses him and involves his parents in the conversation, leaving him in despair. The new player dies and respawns in a safe area. He turns to item reinforcement, the fastest method to become stronger, and starts reinforcing his equipment. He starts with his +3 Knights two-handed sword, but it gets destroyed in the process. Undeterred, he continues reinforcing his other equipment, destroying everything he has in the process. Left stranded in his underwear and on the brink of quitting the game, our protagonist is suddenly thrown a wooden stick by a random passerby. With nothing else to do, the noob decides to try his luck with item reinforcement on the beginner's weapon. To his surprise, the skill works, and he continues to hammer away at the stick until sunset. As he delivers the final blow, the wooden stick reaches its highest level of reinforcement at +99. The noob is ecstatic at his newfound power and the cheat that he has stumbled upon. However, as he fumbles with the stick, it slips from his grasp and hits the ground with a resounding crash. The impact causes the continent to split in half, and the noob realizes that he has unintentionally killed over 850,000 players. With his reputation in tatters, the noob decides to take matters into his own hands and teach everyone a lesson. Despite being seen as a nobody and a noob in the game, he walks the streets with confidence, armed only with his reinforced wooden stick. When a big guy bumps into him and starts a fight, a woman tries to intervene in a cheerful, irritating way. The noob faces off against the big guy, using his wooden stick to devastating effect. He proves that despite being a noob, he can hold his own against even the strongest players in the game. The noob has finally found his place in the world of the game, and he knows that with his newfound power, he can take on anyone and anything that comes his way. With a deafening boom, the noob's weapon caused a massive explosion, leaving everyone who saw it flabbergasted by its sheer power. He finally acknowledges himself as the MC of Chrono Life. However, his joy was short-lived when a warning suddenly appeared, informing the news that his weapon was badly damaged. The +99 reinforced wooden stick can only be used a few more times before the durability runs out. The worst part is that the item can't be repaired to restore its durability. The noob looks at his weapon's description and feels disheartened. If this is the case, he can't take revenge on everyone who did him wrong. Thoughtfully, he thinks about it and makes a decision. The ground and ravine of the deceased is filled with skulls. The noob makes his way on it with a loud sound. Chrono Life's ultimate boss monster, the twin-headed dragon Uranus, appeared. Uranus uses intimidation, but it's not very effective. The noob uses the wooden stick, and it's super effective. When the heads disintegrated, the remaining head was shocked and speechless, announcing that he only has a few strikes left. The noob plans to kill the strongest boss in the game. The remaining head of the dragon Uranus pleads for mercy, but the noob ignores him and gives him another hit. Uranus falls, and the noob limits that a single strike remains in his weapon. Upon hearing this, Uranus offers a master-servant contract to give his soul to the noob. This lets the user transfer souls to the noob's weapon, evolving it into the Ego Sword, the highest-ranking weapon in Chrono Life. The best part of it all is that it has infinite durability. The noob blasts menacingly and accepts the contract with so much glee. With a flash of purple light, Uranus relinquishes his physical form and transfers his soul to the wooden stick. The weapon receives the ego rank, and the durability turns into an infinite symbol. In agreeing with the contract, the noob also gains Uranus's legion, and they swear to get the revenge that their master is aiming for. In a different part of Chromo Life, people were gathered as an announcement for an SS-class bounty was released nationwide. And that person is Noob with a wooden stick. The 5 strongest guilds have joined forces to eliminate the criminal who killed over 800,000 players within one day. These guilds are the Sacred Guild led by Singli, Crossline Guild led by Sua, Holy Land Guild led by Abracadabra, Righteous Bandits Guild led by Hong, and Justice Guild led by Hawkeye. The player killer, known only as MC, grinned as he examined his upgraded wooden stick. Its stats were impressive, and he couldn't help but laugh at how powerful it made him feel. Suddenly, one of the heads of the twin-headed dragon Muris appeared from the stick, but it looked much different than before. It was small and squishy, with only one head. Eurus explained that this was a feature of the ego rank weapons, and only the master could see and hear the spirit within. As they pondered the missing head, a wanted poster dropped between them. The bounty on MC was an astonishing 10 billion gold, enough to make anyone's eyes widen. Eurus suggested wiping out humanity, but MC decided to take a different approach. He would disguise himself as a penniless noob and hide his powers, using deception to evade capture. However, his plan was cut short when an arrow struck him in the back. Hawkeye, leader of the World Guild Alliance, had found him. MC was surrounded by players from the guild, but instead of hiding his powers, he unleashed them in a blinding flash of light. The area was destroyed, and everyone was knocked out. When Hawkeye came to, he found that the capital of the First Kingdom was completely gone. MC stood idly by, still disguised as a penniless noob. Hawkeye summoned the World Guild Alliance, and approximately 3 million players surrounded MC. But with a wave of his hand, MC unleashed a ripple of attacks that took out numerous guild members. Eurus was amazed at his master's power, and Euros marveled at how humans working together could still pose a challenge to MC. The most powerful mage of the royal family, Abracadabra, casts a chance of disintegration spell along with other mages, and directs it at the MC. He swings his upgraded wooden stick upward and creates an attack, calling it a swing up. The disintegration spell is cancelled with his swing, but it may regroup to cast another spell. The MC swings his stick downward and everyone in the World Guild Alliance dies except for Hawkeye. The MC had been holding back his powers to spare Hawkeye from his swings, but now he seeks revenge for the earlier arrow shot. He hits Hawkeye with his wooden stick, Euros praises his master for annihilating everyone, and then the goddess of life appears before them. She stops before the MC and calls him a noob. The MC remembers the insults he received from her, but instead of getting angry, he laughs. The woman comments on their coincidental meeting, but the MC refuses to believe it's a coincidence. They talk despite his desire to bash her in the head. They discuss the woman's different appearance and her advancement to the hidden class, the goddess of life. The MC comments that the goddess of death is more fitting, which the woman finds amusing but irritating. The MC starts attacking the woman, and she evades his attacks. Despite the explosions going her way, the woman wants to talk some more, but the MC assumes that she's dead. As the smoke cleared, the MC was surprised to see his own silhouette still standing. The goddess of life praised him for getting stronger, but even so, his attacks were not enough to cause her death. Rose was so shocked that he clung to the MC's face with his foot on the MC's mouth. Boris flinched when he saw the woman. He was supposed to be the only one able to see him, yet it seemed they made eye contact. The MC was sure that he had managed to hit the woman, yet she still stood unscathed. The woman revealed that being a goddess of life made it impossible for a human to kill her. The MC became more irritated as he inflicted direct attack after attack, yet all of his attacks were pointless. The woman flew into the air with her wings, and as she floated down, she insulted the MC for being a poor noob. She urged him to give up on his quest for revenge because no matter how strong he became, he could not kill her. The MC turned and started swinging his arms in preparation, causing the goddess of life to wonder if he was finally willing to give up. However, the MC replied that he would swing with all his power, not to strike her, but to strike the planet itself. The goddess was amused and reminded him that he could not kill her. The MC declared that he would not hit her, he would strike the planet instead. The goddess tried to dissuade him, telling him it was suicide, but he laughed hard, stating that he was planning to give the swing with all of his power this time. The goddess flinched with his statement, but still mocked him, telling him it was impossible. Recalling that his previous death was the price he paid for learning the lesson that only the strong survive, the MC declares that it's time to teach everyone that lesson. He believes that satisfaction and suicide no longer matter, and that nobody should mess with someone who has nothing left to lose. The goddess tries to intervene, but the MC slams his wooden stick into the ground with all his might, causing the earth to split apart and destroying the planet in the process. And so, our story comes to an end. In the real world, all the players of Chronolife are booted from the game as they exit their virtual reality capsules. The Chronolife staff announces that there will be emergency server maintenance and apologizes for the inconvenience on their website. Unbeknownst to many, one player remains inside the game and activates the primary system of Chronolife version 1.7. After a scan, the system confirms that only one user is online, and of course, it's the MC. The MC finds himself in a blue space filled with binary numbers, wondering where he is. He encounters a long-haired blonde guy dressed casually, who reveals himself as God, the top honcho of Chronolife. When the MC asks if God has seen the black-haired woman, God says that it's just the two of them in that space and that the MC killed everyone on the planet. The MC laughs in response and asks God if he is an NPC or an admin, but God says he is neither and is simply another player. The MC explains that someone was trying to get in his way, but God filters his words and bids the MC goodbye, telling him to say hello to the furry guy before disappearing in a flash. The MC then gets logged out and returns to reality, ranting about how the blonde guy disappeared immediately after a few exchanges of words. He removes his virtual reality headset and exits the capsule. As the man with the scar on his left eye, accompanied by his men in suits, approached the MC, he wondered if this was the furry guy that God mentioned. Scarface then mentioned the MC's current weapon, the plus 99 reinforced wooden stick, which made the MC panic and wonder what was going on. Suddenly, Scarface suggested they eat and brought the MC to a local restaurant. As they ate, Scarface began talking about himself and revealed that he was none other than Daebium Choi, the CEO of Chronolife. The MC was shocked and spilled his soup, initially mistaking Choi for a mob boss due to the men in suits. Choi explained that the men were actually employees of Chronolife and that he was there to confiscate the MC's wooden stick, which he claimed was a bug item. He explained that the probability of successfully reinforcing an item with a plus 10 reinforcement level, then the next level, was only 3%, and the percentage of that probability dropped the higher it got. Being able to continually surpass such a low percentage made it a bug, and he repeated that the plus 99 reinforced wooden stick would be confiscated. While watching a party fighting a level 21 monster called Gorus in the starting ruins of Chronolife, Guidely wonders what he should do. He recalls the night he met the CEO, who initially threatened to confiscate his weapon but later backtracked after realizing it was just a regular item. The boss also declared that the company would no longer interfere with the users and allow them the freedom to choose their own paths within the game. Watching the party's members kick one of their own out after making a mistake, Guidely realizes that the world of Chronolife is all about survival of the fittest. He decides to enjoy the game on his own terms and was about to attack the party that kicked out their member, when someone started cursing the game. It was a pink-haired female player who had just been kicked out of her party and was screaming about how she spent money on her equipment. Her outburst reminded Guidely of his own previous condemnation of the game. Suddenly, the girl is faced with a horde of Gorus and freezes in fear. Seeing this, Guidely jumps in front of her in his underwear and cloak, wielding his wooden stick like Captain Underpants. He swings it and causes a big explosion, saving her life. Intrigued by their similar experiences, Guidely invites her to join his party. That's the end of the recap. If you like the video, subscribe, leave a like and comment below.